curious about all things paranormal? Well, you're in for a treat. Every week we dig up the top 3 craziest stories and mysteries from our Facebook group.
That's right. So grab yourself a drink, relax, and get ready to dive into the supernatural with us. Welcome to Weekly Paranormal Picks, Episode 8.
But before we dive on in to our first submission, let's take a quick look back at some of the highlights from last week's content.
In our recent episodes of Beyond the Hub podcast, we dove into time travel theories. In Episode 1, we pulled back the curtain on historical legends and time slips. In Episode 2, we discussed wormholes, tackled paradoxes, and explored how these concepts have captured our imagination for centuries. And in our final episode, we discussed the mysterious ways different cultures and mythologies have understood and possibly even experienced time travel. Not through science fiction, but through vibrations and mythical gateways.
You know, and that's not... First off, I just want to thank you all for tuning into Beyond the Hub podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Brandon. We're excited to have you join us for today's 30-minute live stream. Just wanted to say real quick before we get started on the submissions for the day, see you in the chat, Kevin. I love to see you there. And Leanne, once again, morning from Australia.
Morning.
Happy to see you guys tuning in today. Kevin, Nick and I both really appreciate your engagement on our videos on YouTube. You always carry the conversation on, add interesting thoughts, and even share some of your own experiences. I see that you're having some trouble sharing one of your experiences with us. If you can, check out our Facebook group, either the Beyond the Hub group, you can send it there, or preferably our paranormal, haunted, creepy stories and creepy places and ghost stories, I think, Facebook group. If you message the group there, we can probably get your post. If you're trying to send it on YouTube, YouTube is crazy with censoring. A keyword will make your whole post disappear. So
yeah,
if you are okay with trying one more time, try to send it to our Facebook group. If that doesn't work, let me know. I will hook you up with an email that you can send it to, because we really want to hear that experience, especially in regards to our time slip episodes last week and the topics we were talking last week. If it has something to do with that, I really want to hear it. So, want to just keep saying hello to Mason.
Yeah.
Okay,
stop
tagging
tagging
everybody and giving notifications about the Trash Podcast. Okay, cool. Well, then you can see yourself out. Don't really need that. Zach Bishop, hello. Melissa,
hey, Zach.
Hi. Donna, hi from Ohio. Melissa, hi from Virginia. If you are upset about being tagged in a post in a group that you willingly joined, then you can willingly see yourself out. Don't really care. People who are here for the content and they want to discuss these topics with everybody in the community. We're at 139,000 members. There's 139 people in there. There's tons of people that appreciate the heads up that we're doing some live streams so they can join the conversation, and there's going to be people that don't like it. See yourself.
And guess what, Mason? We'll see you next week too. So you better leave while you can.
Phoebe, I think that's how you pronounce the name, Phoebe Sepulveda. Hello from California. Hi, how's it going from the West Coast? At least you're a little bit in the middle of the day there. Oh, Bear Flag Mercantile. Oh, man, I just thought of this. I have a time slip story that will blow your mind. Kevin Smith knows about it.
Tell it. We want to hear it.
Absolutely.
But right now, while you're typing that out, let's jump into our first pick of the day.
I'm excited. I'm excited for these. All right, what do we got here?
We're at 400 people from last week. This is from Heather Bramblett. If you want to take this?
Yeah, sure. Heather Bramblett says, I have an experience to share. I've actually never shared it on a social platform. Probably 29 to 30 years ago, I lived in a home that my mother actually lived in as a teen. Me and my sister had bunk beds, and the bedroom door was at the foot of them. Okay, at the foot of the beds was a door. Okay, I'm just trying to paint this picture for myself. On 2 separate nights, me and my sister both seen something looking around the corner into our door. That's creepy. Sounds crazy, but it was like green and purple and floating. Like you would literally describe a monster looking. We never said anything to anyone. On a separate night, My sister woke seeing the Grim Reaper standing beside the bed. Wow. She was on the top bunk. She never told anyone until we were older. I also one time was in the room myself and someone knocked on my door 3 times. There we go again with the 3 times.
Always.
3 times knocking, mocking the Holy Trinity. I yelled, "Come in," and no one did. Well, you invited it in. That's this guy's some cojones. So I finally went to the door, looked down the hall, both directions, and nothing. Ran to the kitchen/living room. My sister was doing dishes and mom watching TV. To this day, they both say it was neither of them. My mom had an experience when she was younger in the home. My grandpa ended up with the home. Mobile home, it was moved to his property. He passed, and the home still sits on his land where my mother now lives in a separate home. So it's on the same land. Okay. We used to go clean for him, and me and my mom both had times we felt we were not alone in it. My niece is also sensitive to things. She claims there's very dark presence in the home. We went in not long ago and was taking pictures and talking. She later told me it was very attracted to me, like wanted to follow me. I have not been back in the home since. Those are some crazy experiences that multiple people in the same home have experienced. And it seems that it's not the home itself, that it's the land. Right?
And it varies depending on cases. Sometimes it could be the home itself. Sometimes it may follow. We talk about the theories on that.
What I'm saying is in this case specifically, it seems like this is a case of the land having some sort of spiritual connection or paranormal connection to the land itself. Because if the mobile home swapped out and in a separate home, you're still experiencing some things. Mm-hmm. And many people are experiencing things in this home. I'd say there's a lot of experiences there. This is not just a one and done kind of thing. Like, it's consistent. That's freaky. First of all, if I woke up and saw this Grim Reaper thing standing over me, I'd be freaking out.
Absolutely.
I've woken
I
up
think
and
that'd
seen
be the end.
I've seen other things standing over me. Nothing that was presenting itself as a Grim
you
Reaper.
saw me?
No, that was a separate time, dude.
Oh, maybe you didn't see me. Okay, good.
Wait, what?
Huh?
You're confusing me. You're not in my room when I'm sleeping.
No, I would never. I would never be.
Right, dude. Oh, speaking of weird stuff happening at my house, in my room. I don't know. My wife has been saying some stuff about she senses like there's a ghost there. She named the ghost.
She named it?
She named the ghost. She thinks that there's something there. We've had some weird things happen where, like, we'll hear, like, a weird sound, and both of my cats will be upstairs in the bed with us.
That's always a bad sign.
And there's weird stuff that we hear downstairs. And I'm like, did you hear that? She's like, yeah, it's just this guy. I forget what she named him. I'm like, why would you name him? Don't name him. Then he's going to stay. I don't know. It's not doing anything malicious. But we've had an increased occurrences. We've had increased activity for the last 2-3 weeks. Weird stuff. Weird stuff.
Well, 1 second. Samuel, have you ever seen a Min light? Can you elaborate on that?
I've never heard of that.
Is that Phoebe, right? Yeah, she thought that was funny. Leanne, I would have saged straight away.
I wonder, Leanne, are you saying that to my place
I think so.
or to the story? Oh,
both.
Interesting.
So what else is going on?
She experiences more of it. The most I'm experiencing is like sounds being made that it's like I'll go downstairs and I'll investigate. I'll look for maybe something that fell or something like that. Maybe something fell off a shelf in the closet because it was like slipping slowly and over time eventually it fell. I don't know. I'm not finding anything. I'm not finding any evidence of anything falling. I'm just hearing weird sounds here and there. And it's not like a knocking. It sounds like something fell, like something in the closet fell. Nothing fell. There's nothing in there. Those are like the 2 or 3 times I've heard it. Then there was, I can't remember what she said. My wife said about something that happened right before I got home one day from work. But there's just been an increased activity, and it's weird. I don't feel any presence there, and I'm sensitive to that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I can tell, I can feel a presence there. Not 100% of the time, because there's been times where people have seen something right behind me and I didn't sense nothing, but they saw something, and they're not making it up. Like, the people who I surround myself with are very credible people. It's not like they especially with the topics that I cover, that I investigate, and that me and Nick cover on the show. Like, I don't want to be surrounding myself with somebody who's like, no, that stuff doesn't exist. And sure, you could say that's some sort of bias, a confirmation bias, but it's like, they're not going to like what I have to say anyway, because I'm into this. So if they're not, then like, okay, we'll see ya. So I don't know.
Sorry, Ken Este. Am I saying something bad here?
Why?
I don't know. From Phoebe. I don't want to say anything.
Caneste Castillo. I don't know what that means.
Oh, you just got canceled immediately if you mean something bad. Bear flag. What is it, mercantile?
Yeah, Bear Flag Mercantile.
Kevin Smith, those German buckles that were dug in
Latvia.
Latvia?
Yeah.
The heck were you guys doing?
I gave you one. I kept the one with bullet holes.
Leanne said both to both these cases.
Okay.
Okay. Now I remember now. I'll submit that time slip story to the Facebook page so I can include a picture of the buckle.
Yes.
Please tag
do.
us too. Please tag us. Just add us at Beyond That Podcast. I want to thank Heather for sharing this story as we move on to our next. What do you guys think about that story? First off,
myself, I think I've never heard of something being seen like a purple and green monster, like something out of Monsters Inc. Like I've never seen that. I've never heard of that. The most I've heard is like reptilian that goes towards that. I've heard little people, black eyed kids. I've heard, when it comes to inside someone's house, I've heard Grim Reaper type figure, Hat Man, shadow figures, aliens, like I said, reptilians. I've heard gremlin looking thing. But I've never heard of a green and purple. Like, those are very vibrant colors for a monster to be. It's like they want you to notice them. Well, maybe it's something beyond their control, and just like I'm born with whatever features I am, maybe that thing was created with whatever features it has. I don't know, but yeah.
Let's look at let's go to the next.
We got the next story up here?
Yeah. So I just want to show you that if anyone's watching on YouTube or anything else, this is the name of the group.
Okay.
This next one's from Tiffany Perez. Okay, we got a poltergeist story here.
Cool.
Let's even make sure this is nicely. Rising contributor. Thank you, Tiffany. My poltergeist is at it again. I was crocheting and holding my darning needle. Okay. I dropped it, watched it fall from my fingers past the edge of the chair. We have hard floors. It should have made, a small noise when it hit the floor. Nothing.
What?
I pulled the chair and all the surrounding tables away from the area where it fell. I cannot find it anywhere. I even checked in the chair, although I know I saw it fall past the chair. I wonder where this will turn up. It tends to leave things in strange places, far from where they went missing.
Whoa, okay, hold on a second, though. Is this poltergeist activity, or is this something different? Because my mind instantly goes to, it fell, never made a noise, and it's gone. Portals.
He was just going to say, went into a different dimension. It's gone.
Portals.
You'll find it again.
Just think about it. Think about it for a second. Poltergeist, portals. Both, I'd say, are possible, sure. But that poltergeist would have been waiting, just eagerly, like, oh, she's going to drop it. She's going to drop. Oh, gotcha. Snatch.
Do you think a portal going in, you would come out the same way you went in? Or would you, if you went in, that could only be created through that space and you would have to come back through a different way? And that's why they'd never find things in the same place where it went missing.
Oh, shoot. What if the poltergeist is using a portal?
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Just thought of that.
I don't, like portals are one and done.
Or like maybe, yeah, you can only go through this way and you have to create a new one to go the other way. You can't come back through this thing because it's a linear thing.
Like, I've heard of poltergeist stories where they'll say that, that they're moving objects around in their house and they can't find them. Like, oh, I can't find my car keys. They've been gone for like 3 days. I can't find them. They moved them and I found them. I know I always put them on the island in the kitchen when I get home from work and they were gone. And I find them upstairs in the bathroom on the floor. Like, why are they there? I don't know. I mean, sure, somebody could have forgot that they put them in their pocket, taken their pants off to take a shower, and it falls out of their pocket on the bathroom floor. Sure, absolutely. That's, you know, if you want to be skeptic about everything and say that that's the case, sure. But the poltergeist thing, taking objects and moving them around, I think is also very likely. And I also think it's very likely that there was no poltergeist involved and you dropped it into a portal and you're never going to get it back.
Well, also she says that my poltergeist is at it again, indicating that this is a repeated sort of or ongoing activity. So maybe there's some other things we should hear from her.
It could be like what you said, where the portal opens up and they can't go back through that portal, so they have to open up another portal somewhere else. Sure. Maybe there's, I mean, we don't understand this, but I've heard so many stories of like people seeing, encountering, walking through portals. And it's not like the Rick and Morty green circle of like goo portal thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can't tell there's something there and you pass through and whoa, I'm somewhere else right now. How did this happen? This defies all of physics. So I don't know.
I mean, so
maybe there's rules where you can, you know, an entity that is capable of tearing through the veil and traveling between dimensions for the portal. Maybe the rule is they can only have one open at a time. And it's just like a rule of physics that we haven't figured out yet.
Maybe. Julia Worthington asked, can you ask for it to be returned? Hey, can I have that back, please?
Imagine she's like, hey, can I have that back, please? And then all of a sudden, it just, you see it like pop up out of the floor.
Hold on, this one comment is I can't, oh wait, no, hold on a second. I'll be able to pull it up now. I was looking for my work shoes, looked high and low for them. Couldn't find them anywhere. I found them 2 days later in the oven. I'm glad I looked in the oven before I turned it on.
That's crazy.
That's the other portal.
There's no way. Well, this is a different person, isn't it?
Yeah, this is different. Unless someone's screwing with you.
Yeah, I mean, somebody could be screwing with you, but I don't know. That's crazy. It's not like you're going to put your shoes in the oven and not remember it. Wait, somebody up there? Up a little bit? Could also be that it fell into the other dimension, Candace says, and right above her, Mark says maybe it's not a poltergeist. It could be a warp portal playing and surrounds at your home. This portal or black warp hole. And it thinks like human. Try to find it in another place. It could be there.
I swear I didn't look in the comments before I picked these.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, other people are thinking it could be portal too.
Nice.
And if it is a portal, that doesn't discount that it's a repetitive thing. She says my poltergeist is at it again. Maybe there's portals there and we don't understand how you're interacting with these portals, or your objects around your house are interacting with the portal. The fact that it didn't make a noise is what really makes me think portal rather than poltergeist. Because poltergeist, typically, what I've heard is they'll like remove an object from somewhere when you're not paying attention. It's not like it's
or when you are
mid falling. Sure, I haven't heard many of when you're paying attention, seeing something disappear before your eyes.
Well, not poltergeist is disappearing, because I remember I caught that one where it was actually physically moving the door.
Oh yeah, true. Well, I'm talking about the mischievous, moving your things kind of poltergeist here. So, if there's a case where somebody suspects a poltergeist is moving stuff around their house, it disappears when it's out of sight, out of mind, and it's gone, and they could have sworn something was there. Like they know for a fact, actually, that the said object was there. They return to look for said objects, and said object is gone, and then they find said object somewhere else. That's the typical poltergeist thing. But the fact that you actively dropped it and never heard it make a noise when it hit the floor is what really takes me to that portal. The portal dimensional something.
What else? What do you guys think about that? Let me just read through the comments real quick. Maybe Leanne says maybe
something followed me home.
Phoebe says, sorry.
My wife would not be happy if something followed me home from us doing this show. She would probably beat me up.
Phoebe said, it was her daughter. She was tagging her daughter. I laughed at the comment you guys made about, we're staying in the room and I watch over you. Not that I do.
Dude, come on.
But I see the ghost too and other scary things. Oh yeah, please tell us those stories. Leanne says, do tell. Vivek, good morning. Kevin Smith, very likely.
Hey, Vivek, nice to see you again. I'm pretty sure his name's pronounced Vivek, so
Vivek?
Whichever one of us is pronouncing your name correctly.
Yeah, let us know.
Hopefully one of us is doing it right.
Did you tag people in the YouTube post?
I did not.
You want to do that real quick?
No. I don't. You shared it in the group.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do it. Because I normally
Oh.
share it in the group and tag everyone.
Yeah.
I thought you did it.
When I do that, it only goes to a certain amount of people. You have a whole different pool of people.
Oh. Okay, yeah, sure.
All right. Well, while he does that, I'm going to discuss. I also want to thank Tiffany Perez for sharing her story. But as we move on to our next one, this could be our. We do have one backup one but we are. What time are we at? This might be the end of it. This one is so. You just hold on. I just. It's something I just have to tell you guys this story. Last week I accidentally hovered over the person that said anonymous participant, and we were able to see that, but no one else is. But I guess if I hover over it, everyone can see it.
Oh, that's good.
My bad. But I didn't do it this time. I'm not going to do it again.
So they couldn't see it anyway while they were.
No, because we were filming it. They could.
Oh.
But let's pull up this last one. This is from anonymous participant, so don't go looking. Okay. Are you done over there?
Almost done. Sorry, guys.
You're good. I will try to.
Ghosts.
What was that? Did you not just see that? Did I move?
I didn't
This thing has been sitting here the entire time.
What is that? Was it hanging on the wall or no?
No, it wasn't hanging on the wall. It was a picture that I have up here.
Was it standing up?
Yeah.
What the heck?
And it was behind something. You need to go longer, Leanne says.
We're working on it.
All my stuff is still on the ground. I'll have to pick that up afterwards.
Our schedules outside of doing the show, mainly mine, is very difficult to work around.
Do you want me to do it?
New kid. No, I got it.
But yeah, he's
I'm a new father. My son is a little over a year old, and it's very difficult to balance between working a full-time job and doing this. This is something I'm passionate about and I really want to do, so I'm absolutely going to be doing this. But if I can free up the time, we would love to be live streaming for at least an hour. We started off live streaming for 2 hours, and discussing everything in that fashion, but it was very difficult for me to continue to do that. So unfortunately, we had to make some changes. But the good thing about what we're currently doing is there's content 4 out of the 7 days of the week.
Mm-hmm.
That you can tune into if you
follow us. If
you subscribe to us on YouTube and follow the Facebook group. They're posted on the Beyond the Hub page every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can absolutely. There's a backlog we have for at least we've been doing this format for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
There's a backlog you could tune into, and there's tons of content to watch there. And if you are on the Beyond the Hub group on Facebook, when we post it there, if you don't use YouTube, you can follow that link there if you're not actively on YouTube or anything like that.
Leanne, thank you. You guys are the highlight of my week. That really means a lot to us.
Yes, very much so. Happy. I'm just really happy that we're making other people happy, and on top of it, we're discussing things that we're passionate about, and hopefully you guys are too. You know, if you're not that guy, what was his name? Marcus up there?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not into what we're doing, then just leave. You don't need to be negative and ruin it for everybody else that's into what we're doing here.
But he's gone, or we'll see him next week when he is big mad again. But this story is so cool. Okay. Phoebe says, I'm glad I was tagged too. Thank you so much. All right. Listen to this. I talked it up long enough. I will try to make this as short as I can. It is not short, but bear with me. Some of my family has been known to meddle with the unknown for a big part of their lives. My grandmother, a very kind, loving person, was gifted a gift of being able to heal, talk to spirits, and do other things. She told me I was also gifted with the gift, and that one day I would learn to use and understand it. I would not necessarily call it a gift in my eyes.
Ooh.
Anyways, my grandmother passed, and my great-grandmother, total opposite, outlived all of her children and passed away at almost 104.
Wait, real quick. That's just a fate that I do not wish upon any human to outlive your children is, I mean, like I said a little while ago, I'm a new father. To outlive my child is a nightmare. I would love for my child to way more further outlive me. So, condolences out to the torture it is to see everyone you love and have come from your procreation to pass. I pray for all of them.
Keep breeding, though, because you might change your thoughts on this person.
Okay.
Okay. She smoked God's plant every day and spent most of her time with a very evil doll.
So wait. This is the great-grandmother?
This is the great-grandmother.
Oh, okay.
She was still walking at 104, cooking and even trying to drive just 6 months before she passed. I had not seen her for almost 10 years and decided to go visit my aunts, as she lived there too. When I walked in the door, my great-grandmother was in her chair with the old doll on the mantle beside her. Okay, keep reading. Keep stay with me. She grabbed my hand and with a finger started to rub the inside of my palm while mumbling something and telling me how beautiful I am. Okay. I got a strange feeling and pulled my hand away from her. She said, "You know, don't you?" And I asked her what she meant. She told me, "Do you know how I have lived this long?" I said, "Because you are a strong-willed woman." She said, "No. It's because I collect the souls of everyone around me and it takes time from them and it gives it to me." She said when she was rubbing my finger, she was trying to take a piece of me, but I would not let her. I was freaked out, but responded to her by telling her that she cannot have my soul or take it because my soul belongs to God and I am God's child.
Amen.
She snarled at me and refused to even look at me again. The day I got the call that she passed, I was asked if I wanted her doll because no one else would take it. They all said it was cursed and evil, that she would even talk to it, and it never left her side. I refused, as did everyone else, so my aunt was stuck with it. My aunt had a lot of bad things happen soon after and even lost her home. Next thing we know, my sister found the thing at her house in the top of her closet with no idea how it got there.
Wow.
Okay. Now, she was afraid to even touch it. So soon after she started having very negative things happen, one after another, she's just decided just to throw the doll out. But somehow my other aunt has the doll now. And no one knows how she got it, but my aunt says she cannot throw it away. However, she can gift it to someone if they want it. No thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks indeed. Okay, so a couple things I want to say about this.
Yeah.
One, sounds like the practice of Santeria that I mentioned way back in our show. It's typically in the Puerto Rican culture, it's in my family, the women of the family practice this. And that's what it seems like in this case is similar to that.
Here's the link, by the way.
Also, the Santeria is like dark magic. It's like black magic. And so is like voodoo and other things like that. They're all magical practices. The fact, I retract my condolences to you seeing everyone around you, that you love and care about die because you are a selfish human that stole the life of your grandchildren and children, and like that's just evil. That is just purely evil. Second thing, the doll she carried around with her sounds similar to voodoo, right? Voodoo dolls, but I don't think that was voodoo. I've heard that people that practice dark magic have familiars, and familiars can be purely spiritual, where the person practicing can communicate with it and see it, or they tend to inhabit an object like the doll. So my theory is that doll was inhabited by this evil woman's familiar, and I will absolutely pray for the writer, the author of this post here, the anonymous contributor, because if you were told that you were destined to practice this healing magic, next in the family, and you're refusing to do it, I strongly doubt that you won't face spiritual battles ahead coming your way in your life. because of your family's dark history. And I'm sorry for that, but as you said, your soul belongs to God. You are God's child. Take solace in the fact that you are God's child. And the name of Jesus Christ will help you in many, many incidences that you might come finding yourself across in the future. This story is insane.
Yeah.
Stealing, it's like a vampire.
Yeah.
Sapping the life because you're so attached to the physical life that you have right now, that you're 104 years old. Like, that makes me think that I wonder if other people who live to grow that old in the last 100 years ish, so like from the 1900s on, people who are 100 something years old, are they practicing like dark magic, black magic, or is there means of living that long without practicing any sort of occult practices? Is it necessary?
That's a good question.
I don't know. I don't have the answer. It's just a question to ponder on.
She said she was or she had that gift, or whatever. Maybe she is a quote unquote witch. Maybe from a line of that.
That's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the practices there sounded very similar to Santeria that my father has described to me. And it goes back in my family. Like, people in my family have done that. And, you know, I'm a man, so I don't have to really deal with the lineage of, every women in our family practicing witches and blah, blah, blah. But my sisters have weird abilities, not like psychic abilities, but like premonition type abilities, similar to where, like, my sister has predicted certain things before that I don't feel like going to detail about. I would really need to talk with my sister and my dad again about certain incidents. But like, just for a brief one, like, my dad got in a motorcycle accident when I was like 14 to 16, somewhere around there. And he got home and he I don't know how he didn't get more injured than road rash, but he hit a deer head on doing like 60.
Jeez.
And my sister described to my dad an exact, like, as if my sister was remote viewing the accident, described to my dad when my sister was young. She was probably 9 or 10 if I was that old. So she's like, well, I saw this happening and then God's hand came and blah, 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 like, saved you. So, like, you should thank God, Dad. And it gave me chills, gave my dad chills. My dad started, like, tearing up a little bit. Like, how are you telling me this?
What?
My daughter, my very young daughter. So, like, I think that it sounds very familiar. This story sounded very familiar to the Santeria practices that were practiced in my family.
Real quick, I just want to thank you for sharing that story. Kevin Smith, holy wow. What else do you guys think about that too? I shared all the posts that we discussed today. I threw those links in there for you. Caitlin Took, so glad I was able to catch this after work. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leanne says Zach of Ghost Adventures would love the doll. I'm sure he would. I actually
offer it to him.
I might take this doll.
No, I'm never coming back.
And we're gonna put it right here.
Nope.
For every show.
Nope. Nick, you really just like to tease me, don't you?
Leanne, that is so cool. Maybe the souls are in the doll. Like,
whoa.
So it's collecting.
Whoa, that's a good theory.
So, like, yes, so like she's the one gathering it, and like that just goes back to the doll.
Imagine being trapped in that doll. Like, you didn't consent to any of this, and your soul is trapped in a doll. At all. I mean, like, you didn't consent to having your life stolen. It's not funny.
Anyway. Just the like, that's just maybe souls are Brenda. Hi Brenda. Caitlin, no. Yeah,
no.
Caitlin's my fiance.
She said no. Don't take the doll. Yeah, she's with me on this one. Yeah,
well, it may or may not. I mean, if it just showed up at any other person's house, who knows? It might just show up here.
Maybe because this doll is so cursed, the people who are in possession of the doll are going to other family members' houses and, you know, hiding it in like a purse or something, and they're like, I just gotta go use the bathroom, and then they go up to the attic and put it in the attic or something.
It's so weird. I mean, someone like it could just
get rid of it.
Be sent like to my front door, and I could just open it up, and it could just happen to just be displayed.
Yeah, but you have to dox
week
yourself for that one, and I don't think that's happening.
I don't know. Just crazy things happen.
Yeah, crazy things do happen.
Crazy things
Listen,
happen.
I'll tell you what. If it does show up, randomly because this doll is just traveling itself, teleporting itself or whatever to whoever's possession it wants to be under, and it shows up here, I'm burning it.
That's bad, dude.
I'm burning it. I'm praying over it to release the souls that potentially could be trapped in there, and sending them to God, hopefully, and then burning it.
So let me, like, Zach will pay a lot of money. Do you think that selling it to him is a good option for it to be displayed, or do you think burning it would be the right thing? I mean, what is the outcome? Like, if those souls are burned by your hand, I don't think does it really
burn
go?
A soul like a human. I don't think can. We don't even fully understand the concept, like the physical existence of a soul. Like, we get the concept, but like if 99.9% of what comprises a human can be accounted for, and that 0.1% is the soul, let's just say, we don't even understand how to harness that, how to gather it, how to collect it, other than in occult magical ways. There's practices and hidden knowledge out there that people know how to do to maybe transfer that. I mean, I have experience moving my soul from my body with astral projection, but other than that, like, it's not like I really don't see how, and I'm not saying it's not possible, probably is, for me to astral project and go inhabit, a doll or something.
We got a bunch of comments coming in.
We got Leanne saying, just give it to Zach.
Give it to Zach.
Well, we got a Zach fan here.
Pray, then toss it in the ocean. I have heard burning it doesn't work.
Okay, well, there we go.
Phoebe says that.
Phoebe.
Big Al presents, have heard that some dolls contain the souls of someone.
I mean, isn't that the idea behind Chucky?
And Annabelle too.
Annabelle?
Or is that or is that just a possession?
Chucky?
No, the Annabelle. Or is that actually inhabiting?
I think it's inhabiting the doll. Right?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to...
We talked about Annabelle.
Yeah.
I remember it wasn't a possession. It was inhabiting the doll.
But it was possessing the doll. But can you possess an inanimate object? I don't think so. Did we talked about this before?
I feel like possession is like when you're overriding the will of the current inhabiting soul.
And because remember we talked about there was that show, The Haunted Collector, and he would go to these places and remove things that were so closely, like it was like someone's favorite object, right? Mm-hmm. So they would take that, or like that would be their object, and like they die. And that's the thing that's creating the paranormal occurrences in the house. And when he removes that object, right? So that could be
they stop.
But Kevin says, "Yep, burn it."
Yeah, so Kevin agrees with my initial suggestion.
Maybe give it to Zach.
Phoebe says to toss it to the ocean, but I will thank Phoebe for saying also that a prayer should be said to hopefully, if there are souls trapped in this doll, to free those souls. I think that is the most important step, but getting rid of the doll is probably the next most important step. So no one else can get trapped. And if it is a familiar that's inhabiting that doll, that was helping this great-grandmother, steal people's souls, then curse that familiar as well. Mm-hmm. Screw you, familiar. Not all familiars are friendly. Some of them have malicious intent towards others. Well, with that being said, folks, that's going to bring us to the end of our slightly longer than 30-minute live stream today. If you liked what you heard and made it this far, why don't you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and click that little bell if you would, please. And don't forget to share your stories below and in the group. And everyone, don't worry. The conversation doesn't end here. Join us over on YouTube, we said earlier, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll discuss our next topic of the week, and you're not going to want to miss this one. Just want to shout out, Big Al presents maybe what about traumatic energy imprinting on a doll. I think that's also possible. Oh, that's a good one, too. I think that's a good case. Of course, guys, if you're new here, thank you for stopping by and tuning into our show today. Check out our previous series where we attempt to unravel other mysteries on our YouTube channel. And don't forget to stay curious and keep seeking the truth. Well, thank you all for being here. We'll see you all live next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep the conversation going in the comments. Tag us in your posts for a chance to be featured. And stay tuned for more Beyond the Hub podcast. We'll see you soon. Thank you, everybody. Take care.